Good morning, onliners. I'm so glad that we've come back together, and I wanted to kind of give you some feedback on the discussion board question about women and people of color in top positions. This is always one of the most charged of discussion board questions that we have each semester, and there is always a wide variety of opinions that are expressed. The text talks about the glass ceiling, that invisible barrier that organizations seem to put up to prevent certain categories of folks, certain people groups from obtaining top-level jobs. I wanted to just sort of express my thoughts on the matter here, basically because I feel as though there's been a lot of progress made in the United States business world since the Civil Rights Act of 1963 and several acts that have happened since that time to eliminate or to at least attack the efforts of discrimination. There have been lots of changes in corporate mindset toward diversity and efforts to bring people of color and women into positions of authority and top-level positions. There's also been corporate efforts by many different companies to equalize things. Now, we still got a long way to go. There is still a lot of work to be done in corporate America when it comes to dealing with and responding appropriately to the applications and advancement of women and people of color. But at the same time, there have been great strides made in companies. Now, I wanted to address a couple of things. Some of you had pointed out that the good old boy network is still alive and well. I would challenge that. The main reason behind that is that most major corporations are required to follow laws set up by the EEOC for the way in which they recruit. The good old boy network of trying to get your buddy in who may not necessarily be qualified is really very difficult to do in top-level jobs for corporations because of the requirements that the candidate be able to document that they are at least minimally qualified for any position. So I don't think that there is a bunch of fat old men sitting in the back boardrooms of, cigar smoke filled rooms making decisions like that, just keeping the corporate power in the hands of a few 50-plus-year-old white guys. I do not believe that at all. However, there are some other things that do need to be taken into consideration. Yes, there is still discrimination going on. And yes, the vast majority of the people that are impacted by those discriminatory actions are women and people of color. But I caution you to not draw too broad a brush over this. There are lots of other extenuating circumstances in these decisions. For instance, women that are seeking positions in higher positions within organizations. It is true that the percentage of women in the workforce has increased to close to 50%. It is also true that statistically represented in Fortune 500 companies, the top-level executive jobs are still disproportionate in their representation of women and people of color. But don't judge everything just by Fortune 500. The minority-owned and women-owned businesses throughout the country are on the rise. There has been great advancement of that. You also have to take into consideration whether or not a group of people like women or people of color have aspired to top-level positions. I know of many people of all different races, all different ages, and both genders who do not want to seek the top job. So don't just think that because 46% of the workforce is female that there should be a proportionate number in top jobs. I don't think that that is a statistically defendable position. Are they represented as well as they could be and should be? I don't think so. Is there a better environment than there used to be? I think absolutely there is. Is there a lot of work yet to do? most definitely. And with God's help, the people will continue to make strides toward more equality in the workplace. Well, that is the comments that I had on this particular question. Thank you for your time and hard work in this course, and I'll look forward to seeing you online.